Yo, welcome back to Eat, Sleep, Breathe, Hoops. You know what it is. You saw the thumbnail. We about to dive into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about Anthony Edwards, ladies and gentlemen. This cat is one of the brightest young stars in the NBA. A player with charisma, explosiveness, character, and a rare blend of skill and raw talent. He's the future of this league, hopefully. But with all that potential, all that promise comes pressure. And after getting bounced out the 2025 NBA playoffs by the OKC Thunder, a young, hungry team that just out-executed Minnesota, it's time for AntMan to go back to the drawing board and take a long look in the mirror. This isn't about calling him out. This is about calling him up. The foundation is there. Let's start with the positives, because they're undeniable, for sure. Anthony Edwards has all the tools, man. His footwork is exceptional. Well, it's really good. I won't quite say exceptional because I don't want to overuse words that people be overusing too often, like great and things of that nature. His footwork is really good for a 6'4", 220-pound guard. He has a fluid handle, capable of creating space against elite defenders. His jumper is clean and smooth, and he can hit from mid-range, hit the three ball, catch and shoot off the dribble, and he's shown flashes of step-back creativity that make you believe he could be one of the league's best scorers, and that's starting to show before your eyes. He can get to the rack with the best of them in the league right now, and when he does, it's nuclear. It might be a poster. Somebody might be showing their grandkids that they got dunked on by Anthony Edwards down the road. His physical tools are elite, and he'll posterize you and not think twice about it. But as we all know, basketball is played just as much with the mind as it is with the body, if not so more. And right now, that's the next leap Ant has to make. The leap in between the ears, where he learns the game, has a higher IQ and understanding of the game, and knows how to better operate out there against any type of defense, regardless of what they throw at him. The mental leap, man. Anthony Edwards said after the season, nobody's going to outwork me this summer. Nobody's going to work harder than me this summer. Well, that's good, because work is needed, but not just in the weight room, not just getting shots up, not just in conditioning drills, not just with the ball in his hands. The IQ, the situational awareness, the discipline, that's where stars become legends. That's what separates 25-point scorers from 25-point scorers who win. And this year's OKC series exposed some of the areas where Edwards still has room for growth and improvement. One major habit that has to change for Brody, bringing the ball up and initiating the offense from nearly half court almost every possession that he's playing, if he has the ball. Look, it's admirable that Ant wants that responsibility. Maybe he wants to play a little point out there. Maybe he think he has to, but he shouldn't really feel that way with Mike Conley, the floor general, out there with him. He wants to rock. He wants to be that guy, which is good. That's what you want in a player that wants to be great. You want that hunger there and that desire. But trying to start every attack from 35 plus feet out is a recipe for disaster, especially in the playoffs where things tighten up and the game slows down and defenses get more set in their half-court sets. Teams load up on him. They send doubles early. The defense is tight, airtight, the moment he crosses the timeline and gets past half-court. And when you're trying to generate offense from that far out from the bucket, you're working twice as hard to get half as far. This isn't about effort. It's about smartly changing and shifting your approach. Great scorers, guys like Kobe, MJ, T-Mac, they knew how to pick their spots. They knew when to let someone else bring the rock up. They catch it on the wing. They catch it closer to the bucket before they even start their dribble. So you catch that if you're starting at half court and you're already dribbling, bringing it up past half court, you just completely cut yourself off from the ability to be in a triple threat where the defense has to guess what you're going to do next. The defense is just more at your mercy when you're catching that ball on the wing and not even losing and not even, having the live dribble quite yet. In that triple threat where you can just pull up, jab step, pull up without dribbling, go right, go left. There's so many options before you start dribbling the rock if you're getting the ball out on the wing as a dominant scorer. Whereas when you're dribbling up past half court, especially when bigs are always coming up and trying to set screens up top, they're trapping you and they're getting the ball out your hands immediately. And then it's already halfway through the shot clock by the time you might get the rock again. Or in Edwards' case, another thing he has to get a little better at is not standing around too much when he's off the ball. He needs to move better and play smarter when he's off the ball instead of just standing out at the three-point line and just watching. The aforementioned cats like Kobe and MJ and Mac and some of these other guys, even Vince Carter, they'd face up or play with their back to the basket out there on the wing and call for the ball. Before they even put the rock on the floor, they got it way closer to the bucket with the defense at their mercy. Why? Because the less ground you have to cover, the less opportunity the defense has to collapse on you. And the quicker, the more strenuous it is for them to trap you because you're closer to the bucket. They send that trap. Somebody's going to be open that's closer to the bucket than would be if you were getting trapped out near half court. And at the end of the day, the fewer dribbles you need to score, the more efficient and effective you can become. Edwards needs to see this. He has to develop the situational awareness to say, nah, I'm not bringing it up this time. Get it to me out on the wing. Let's run a set. Let me work off the catch coming off the wing. Let me, get off one of those Iverson cuts going down the lane and catching it out on the wing and starting there. Let me go to the block and get up in the post and bully this little dude that's smaller than me. That's high IQ level basketball. That's next level thinking instead of just automatically bringing the ball up court every single time. Another bad habit that needs to get broken is the empty dribbling. We've all seen it. Ant's in space. He's in isolation. He's got a live dribble, and he's just dribbling. Not probing, not creating, just standing, dancing, wasting the clock and dribbling in space and not going anywhere with the rock or not making any type of progression towards scoring. Now, sometimes that's part of the rhythm, but too often it leads to a late clock, contested three, or a drive into traffic with a forced-up shot. Edwards has to learn to attack quicker, attack more suddenly, and use fewer dribbles to get into his shots. That'll help evade some of these double teams. He needs to be attacking before the double gets there all the way. He's too explosive to waste time. He doesn't need 5 crossovers or 2, 3, 4 little in and out dribbles with the same hand where you're not really going anywhere and just taking a couple baby steps forward. He needs one hard jab, one quick burst, and boom, and he's at the cup or into his pull-up off of 1 or 2 dribbles. He needs to cut that Jordan film on. I know earlier in the year he reached out to Jordan about how to deal with double teams, and he caught some flack for that with stupid people talking about like, oh, Jordan doesn't know how to handle a double team in this era and this and that. Jordan wasn't getting double teamed and just stupid stuff. Man, don't listen to that dumb nonsense, man. Keep hollering at the GOAT. He's a GOAT for a reason, and he would kill this era. Keep talking to him on how to get better handling double teams and how to get better at attacking off of 2, 3 dribbles and getting into your look and not wasting dribbles. Jordan was the king of going off of maybe 1, 2, 3 dribbles and getting into the look he wanted almost all the time. That's why he's the greatest scorer to ever play this game. Great scorers are decisive. They're sharp. They don't just dance. They strike with a vengeance. Speaking of pull-ups, let's talk about shot selection. AE has the tools to hit tough threes. We've seen it. But that doesn't mean they're good shots. Too often he's settling for long, contested step-back threes when the defense is just waiting and assuming and anticipating him for him to pull the trigger from behind the arc, when he could easily pump fake or give a little hezzy fake, have the defense bite on the 3 and open up wide open looks in the mid-range with just 1 or 2 steps and 1 or 2 dribbles into his look. He could get so many easy mid-range looks instead of some of the tough contested threes where he's stepping back into the defense after already having them beat. The mid-range isn't dead, not for players like AE. He needs to embrace that space more often. Just like the GOATs, Kobe's, the Jordans, the AIs, even cats he's been in commercials with like Grant Hill and KG. Floaters, elbow jumpers, quick post fades. Those are easier, more efficient looks than the deep, contested step-back threes he's trying to live off of right now. He's too talented to settle for some of these bad bailout shots where he's just letting the defense off the hook. It's not about making it harder. It's about making the right read. And I'm not talking about the LeBron James type of right read where he's just passing regardless of how much his teammates are missing. I'm talking about the right read for himself in terms of getting his own look off. And that starts with seeing the floor better. Another area he can't ignore, conditioning. And is playing heavy minutes as expected from somebody who's striving to be one of the greatest players to ever do it. And on one of the greatest players for their era. Close to 40 minutes a night in the playoffs, but a lot of those minutes are tired minutes, and you can see it. He's out there, but he's just jogging up and down the court. He's not defending with the same urgency as he did at the start of the game or earlier on in the game. And he's not attacking with the same vengeance and grit and passion that you might have seen him doing earlier on in the game. As the game tends to wane on, he plays a lot of minutes. You could tell he gets tired out there, and he's not able to play that first 20 the same. He's not able to play that last 20 minutes the same way he played that first 20 minutes. And I know he mentioned Allen Iverson as his favorite player, or at least one of his favorite players of all time. He's the perfect example of being in the type of shape and having the type of stamina to go as hard from the tip when the game first starts to the very last possession of the game, and every minute in between, as long as he's on the court. He needs to holler at Allen Iverson and ask AI what he was doing to get in that type of shape to where you could play 40 minutes plus a game and not just play them, but be going hard and be in attack mode the entirety of those 40 plus minutes. That means elite level conditioning. That means energy management. That means learning when to push and when to conserve, to rest and when to explode. Because leadership isn't just about highlights, it's about setting the tone on every possession. Look, Anthony Edwards has the charisma. He has the swagger. His teammates believe in him. His coaches believe in him. You could tell he's a natural born leader. But to take the next step, he needs to become a smarter leader and a better, smarter, more intelligent player. That means trusting the teammates to initiate sets, controlling pace and tempo. That means recognizing matchups and exploiting them efficiently, time in and time out. That means knowing when to pull up, when to post up, when to pass up a shot for a better one, when to give the ball up and reset and demand the ball back. It's not just about playing harder. It's about playing smarter. And that's what separates the great from the truly legendary. The Thunder were better this year, and Ant-Man admittedly said that. Let's call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. They were more composed, more connected, and more aware. But for Ant, this doesn't have to be a step back. This can be the moment everything changes and catapults him into the next level, into the next stage, into that next higher chamber and elite table of hooping that he could get to if he really wants to. Because he's got the talent and the foundation is there. He's got the fire. And if he adds the mental game to the physical one, it's lights out. You're looking at an MVP candidate, or an MVP, not just a candidate. You're looking at a 30-point per game killer. You're looking at a guy who can carry a team deep into May and June every year and not get exposed in the playoffs when the game tightens up, gets more physical, and slows down in a half-court setting. Anthony Edwards said nobody's going to work harder than him this summer. Good, because the league is watching. The fans is watching. The Wolves are counting on him, and he's right there at the cusp, one leap away, one film session, one tweak, one mindset shift from dominating the league. He's already a star. Now it's time to become a superstar and a champion. What y'all think? Y'all think he could get better? Y'all think they need some new pieces out there? But particularly pertaining to AE, let me know what you think and how you think he could get his game better and get his game right. Tap into the comments. I'll holla back. Once again, it's your boy, Nikki P, and you know what it is. Eat, sleep, breathe, hoops. And we gonna keep churning them out. Thanks again, and until the next time, peace.